It's party time, Mom. Welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show. Thank you for tuning in, folks. Please go to where podcasts are offered. Guess what we're doing now? Here from the mothership, which is Studio 22. Thanks to folks like Puppet Master Mark and Candice, the queen of the Ethiopians, sitting right over there. How are you kids doing? Y'all look lovely today. Fantastic. Wonderful.
We're doing so
Pretty
good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
I wanna get a T-shirt made. We're gonna sell it through theblaze.com. Which, by the way, I don't know if you realize this or not, but if you go to theblaze.com, there is a little tab that says more. You can click on that, and there is merchandise. You can get a shirt. You can get some shirts that say it's Party Time Mom, and you can even get a bathing suit that has Party Time Mom on it. I don't know, whatever. That's your kink, whatever. I'm not going to shame you. But a lot of folks don't realize that I'm going to put, I think we need to put a shirt out there that just says pretty good.
It seems like a pretty good idea.
Puppet Master speaks pretty good. Candace, you okay?
Oh, yeah.
You 100%?
Just getting work done.
All right,
There
good.
you go.
We're going to get into it. But also go to blazetv.com/humor. Watch in blazetv.com/humor. Use promo code Chad and sign up so you can get Humor Me. Yep. And by the way, blazetv.com is different from theblaze.com. All right, so be aware of that. Just make sure you guys are aware. But you know what we're doing from the mothership? We're now releasing the audio of the podcast at 3 p.m. Normally we're doing 6 p.m. Texas time. Everything is Texas time. We're now releasing the audio. So if you guys are drive time people and you got to sit in traffic on your way home from work, guess what? You can tune in, subscribe, as you should be already doing, but you can listen to the podcast every afternoon, Monday through Thursday, on your way home. So that's a good thing. And Candace, thanks for doing that. And then, of course, you can come. You can watch us. You could see all our pretty faces whenever you get home. You can watch it all over again. So double up on some Chad Prather Show. I'm not too proud to beg. No. Hey, hot news, Natalie. What's going on?
Kids went back to school today.
Yeah.
Yesterday. That's
You're
right.
so
I can't even keep them straight. I am excited.
Yeah, you're excited to be free from children.
Get their learn on.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. With this education system we have these days, I'm not so sure how much learning they're getting.
One of our fifth graders asked me to stay. Just stay in the class with me. I don't think I can handle fifth grade math. I am not smarter than a fifth grader. And that's just embarrassing, so I had to leave.
I don't think anybody was debating that. Hey,
that
Party
hurts.
Foul Steve.
Thank you.
Party Foul Steve and the Texas legend Steve Helms sitting over there. What's your shirt say?
Twilight Lounge.
Twilight Texas. Lounge. Yeah, it was blocking it. I was reading something kind of weird and perverted over there.
Trying to get free drinks.
Yeah. What's your shirt say, Steve?
Chad Prather.
Political cowboy. So we were checking in at the airport the other day. Where were we? Montana? No, Utah. We were in Salt Lake City, Utah, and the folks at the check-in desk, American Airlines, were helping us make a change on our flight. And the lady that works for American Airlines, she looked across it, and she looks at Steve, and she goes, "So who's the political cowboy?" Well, Steve just froze, right?
I thought I was fixing to get attacked.
You know, like what's it? And he immediately threw it over on me, like you know, y'all have all seen Steve's deer in the headlights look, right? This is kind of like, what do I do here? What do I do here? And I said, it's me. And so the other guy who was helping us, he goes, "You're that guy that's on Facebook and on YouTube. You're that," and right. And she's like, "Oh my God." She goes, Are y'all Trumpers?" And I was like, and Steve really froze. He was like, "I don't want to admit anything." And I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I own it, baby. I own it. I ain't scared of nobody.
I thought they were going to attack us. I mean, you know, where we were at.
They work for the airline.
Yeah, no, but you still.
Baggage handlers come out of nowhere and start beating the crap.
Were they Trumpers?
Yeah, they were. Including the gay guy.
Yeah. Well, that's new information that everybody didn't hear in the story the first time around. But yes,
you totally acted out his.
We assume he was,
yeah,
he was gay.
Whole new meaning to being in the closet, because a lot of people don't admit they're Trumpers, but they are.
Yeah, oh, that's true.
Closet Trumpers.
A lot. I mean, if you look at how much money is coming out of California for the Trump campaign compared to, say, Bernie or Elizabeth Warren, he's outpacing them big time out of California as far as financial donations are coming. That's big stuff because everybody wants to run California down. California's great. Got great people in California.
California got a lot of ranchers up there.
A lot of ranchers, a lot of agriculture, a lot of farmers.
A lot of cowboys.
That's right. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to be out there. We got a show coming up in Fresno. We got a show coming up in Yountville, which is I'm probably saying that wrong, but that's Napa. And then we got one coming up in Folsom. So get your tickets. And we got a bunch of good stuff because we're going to start doing the MAGA country comedy tour. Now you want to talk about being bold about something? Like we just said, because it was myself, Reno Collier. Well, Reno Collier and Michael Loftus and Brian Hayner were already doing a conservative comedy show. They added me on, and I was honored and humbled to do that. And they were like, well, what do we want to call it? MAGA Country Comedy Tour. We're even going to do one in Chicago where the MAGA country whole thing started with Jussie Smollett. So we don't care. Now imagine how hard it's going to be to promote that show, though. On things like social media using the word MAGA. They're not going to want it. They're going to hate it.
Well, and are any cities going to turn you away?
We've already had some clubs that said they don't want us to film there. Like, because we're going to shoot a special. We're going to shoot a special, and we have a major network that wants to do that with us. And there's a lot of them that say, well, we don't want the backlash of it, live from blah, 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 Schaumburg, Illinois. They just don't want their club associated with the phrase MAGA. Okay. It's okay. We just like money.
Right.
I don't care. We just going to go out there and make people laugh, and it's going to be a good time. And by the way, I know people are going to get mad because I put out a promo video about it last week, and I was saying we're not just going to make fun of the left. We make fun of the right, too.
Yes.
We're conservatives. But you know me. I'm going to make if I can make fun of you, I'm going to make fun of you. Mm-hmm. You see where Dave Chappelle, he's got his new special coming out. And they paid, Chappelle has always been, I like Dave Chappelle. He's always been cutting edge. So he's gotten, this one's going to be pretty honest, this one he's got coming out. And they just did a premiere for it, like a whatever, the teaser for it, right? And I think they even had Morgan Freeman do the voiceover for the thing that's coming, right? And he's really attacking everybody. Chappelle does that. He goes after everybody. So obviously he's going to get some blowback. But it brings to mind these folks out here like, let me just read this. It says, in this industry where once no cows were sacred, many masters of the craft are lamenting the so-called, quote, snowflakes who are making their jobs nigh impossible. Jerry Seinfeld, of course, he's one of the guys who has cautioned everybody about playing on college venues, college campuses. He won't do it. And Jerry Seinfeld's the least offensive comedian out there. You got John Cleese, of course, from the Knights Who Say Neat, Monty Python. John Cleese, he warned that the PC culture will lead to a 1984 society. Kevin Hart, of course, they went after him hard. I mean, you had to dig. You had to dig to find a joke from whatever 7 years ago that he made about gays, and they call him homophobic, and he lost his job at the hosting the Oscars. I mean, they had to dig to go. Well, Dave Chappelle's like, F you. You want some of this? I'm going to give it to you. So much for your woke culture, Wokey Wokerson, your full frontal labias.
Yep.
You going to come to one of our shows? What was clapping there?
Labias.
When I say labia, you start clapping. Flop, 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 flop.
Yes, I'm going to come to one of your shows.
Good. Steve Helms won't.
I will too.
He's got gigs.
Yeah, if he can come for free.
And he can ride. He needs a ride.
Yeah, needs somebody to pick him up and bring him.
It's not my fault the only show I've been to is because I was in Vegas when you were there.
Hey, and he goes, that would be Steve. Steve would be like, hey, man, what time are you going to the venue to do your show tonight? You think I can catch a ride? Come get me.
Come get me, man.
Mm-hmm. You are something else, boy. You are something else. We're having fun, man. Trump's going to buy Greenland.
I heard this. I'm excited. I mean, he says he's going to buy Greenland.
Why not?
Sure. Now, they say it's not for sale.
We'll see. Denmark's an
Everything's for
ally.
sale.
Denmark owns Greenland, and
Yes.
they own it, and they're an ally. So who knows? It would be a very strategic move in terms of military positioning, but also, tons of minerals in Greenland. People laugh about it because, most of it is ice.
Have you been? I was going to say, have you been there? It's
icy,
right?
I've flown over it, but I've never been to it. Greenland is white, Iceland is green.
Right.
So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, I asked Jade at breakfast yesterday morning. I said, "So, you want to move to Greenland?" they'll just call it Trumpland.
He would change it if he could.
Of course he would.
Trumpland.
Yeah, Trumpland. Who knows? We'll see what happens. I look at that whole conversation as being another pot stirring, look over here while I do this Trump tactic that he does. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I mean, there's tons of resources, and we're already energy independent in the U.S. You'd have unfettered access to land that's rich not only with hydrocarbons but with rare earth metals. Currently only available from China. So hey, go for it. I say. I think it'd be an economic huge deal. And I mean, tons of fishing waters that are up there that Greenland controls, and I'll move to Greenland.
I mean, do you think this is just a distraction because it just came out of nowhere?
Yeah.
And they say it's not for sale, open for business, not for sale. I mean, what is the whole concept behind him even saying this?
Yeah.
Is he having secret talks?
No, I don't know. I think Jeffrey Epstein's alive. Right. So I think there's some things that are, let's just point at some things. Could be anything that just needs a distraction of blah, blah, blah. But I think let's look at it. I'll get back to my Jeffrey Epstein comment and why I just said that.
Oh, okay.
But I think Trump is pro-America, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's pro-America. And I think he's pro-all Americans. He wants everyone to prosper, right? He's doing these things, and of course everybody's going to come back and say, no, he's this and that and blah, 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 whatever. But think about how if you bought Greenland, if you had the land of Greenland, it'd be huge because you don't have a huge population in Greenland, but the tourism that would happen almost overnight would cause the place to flourish economically. But we would have all those resources that be coming in. You're not dependent on anybody else, again, like China. Mm-hmm. It could be a huge economic boost to do something like that.
I'm dressed for it in your jacket.
I know you are.
It's cold in here, so
I know you were wearing a
Chad's
T-shirt.
Like, are you really going to wear my jacket?
But can you imagine? So anyway, 51st state in Greenland. It'd be funny. Steve Helms, you want to play a gig in Greenland?
Dude, I'll play anywhere there's fishing. You know that.
Fishing and money. I mean, whatever. Bring me up. God, I haven't been fishing in so long. I want to go.
That's a crime, man.
It really is.
So speaking of money, I want to talk about this recession and the fact that the media is.
Now, don't let me forget to get back to my Jeff Epstein.
No,
we're going to come circle. No, I want to talk about the recession first.
Well, that supposedly there's a chance we could slide into a recession, and that Bill Maher and the other are hoping for it, hoping that our country fails just to get rid of Donald Trump.
Bill Maher and several other in the media have, and I will lump in not only the liberals but the never Trumpers, right? Mm-hmm. They want to do that. Anything to unseat this president, they're willing to do it. So what that means is you have to ask yourself the question. The left and the mainstream media, these talking heads, these so-called pundits, saying, yes, let's have a recession. I'm willing to have a recession if it gets rid of Trump. They're willing to sacrifice the livelihood of the average American worker in order to get rid of Trump. That's how just brutally sick these people are.
That's how much they care for all of us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he says we've survived several other. We're gonna be just fine. You may just be fine.
Yeah.
Don't wish that on us.
Do you know in 2009 and 10, during that recession, there were people that really lost everything. They suffered. Homes foreclosed. It was bad.
Companies. I mean, companies went under.
Yeah.
Not at their fault. It was just, I was in the real estate industry, and I saw time after time major home builders going under.
Yeah.
That were, building a lot of homes at that time.
People like Bill Maher, there's a part of me that can appreciate Bill Maher on some levels of things, but he's a consummate smartass, which so am I. But at the same time, when you got millions of dollars in the bank like Bill Maher does, he can look at you and go, I don't care if you go to broke and commit suicide because of a financial disaster in your life. I'm going to be just fine.
Right.
Yeah, because you got your money buried in a vault somewhere. You will be just fine. Mm-hmm. But to do this, I mean, these people are sick in the head. Mm-hmm. They are sick in the head. And it's one thing, I mean, you're just having all these people who are coming out saying the same thing. And Glenn Beck, our good buddy, Glenn Beck, he was talking about it just the other day. He talking about the media's hysteria. He made this point. He said, while the media focuses on the fact that every recession recently has followed a yield curve inversion, they're not telling you that not every yield curve inversion results in a recession. And so, like Jim Cramer, the crazy, what's his name, that's on the CNBC, Mad Money, Jim Cramer, man, he lost it, went crazy. He said, I think that there are people who can sow fear. I really don't want to be someone who is taking the ill-advised position that it must end in recession. So they're trying to own Trump, but, I mean, it's your expense. So
meanwhile, he's buying Greenland.
But we're going to buy Greenland, so there's that. And who knows? Jeffrey Epstein may be living there now, right? So here's my thing.
Running for president.
Here's my thing. Let's get conspiratorial for a minute, okay?
Okay.
We're gonna get rowdy. First of all, so as you all know, Jeff Epstein apparently found dead. The medical examiner came out the other day, broken neck from hanging himself from a bunk bed. All right. Now, Jeffrey Epstein's a billionaire. Could have possibly gotten off. He's gotten off before. We don't have a body. We haven't seen a body. We've seen one little image of someone on a gurney being loaded into an ambulance, and if you zoom in on it, you can see a different nose,
Different ear.
The two most defining traits on a person's head are their ear and their nose. I mean, it's like a thumbprint or a fingerprint, right? And so there's this blackout that happens, right? There's no camera or anything. He'd been on suicide watch for whatever, a month, and then all of a sudden they put him into his cell. They take his cellmate out. He's supposed to be checked on every 30 minutes, and then all of a sudden there's this little blackout, and he wakes up dead. Could they have replaced him, taken him out of there, put another person in? Maybe a dead person, maybe an already dead person that looks a lot like him. They've never been able to go in and raid his mansion or his island. A day after, guess what? He's supposedly dead. So they go in and they raid. They find all kind of weird stuff. There was a news report that he had brought in a cement truck to his island and paid for it up front so it would get done immediately. So who knows? Maybe there were documents and files and things like that he was burying, literally putting them in, entombing them in cement where you can never get to this stuff. Could be. But here's the thing. There has been some rumblings that have come out about, last week we did an episode about the Clinton body count, all right? There have been some rumblings that have been going on out there. Like, nobody has 56 friends that have committed suicide, right? But apparently Hillary does. But that's beside the point. We don't know what Epstein had on anyone. Let's say Jeff Epstein comes along and meets with a Supreme Court justice or a congressman or a senator or someone of that nature, a very high, powerful person in business, and let's say they get drugged and they wake up in a bed with a 12-year-old in a compromising position. And all of a sudden they take pictures of that. That doesn't mean they did anything, but we got you. Now we own you. That's not really that far-fetched, knowing what we do know about this whole thing. For instance, there's been some things that have come out recently. Anthony Weiner supposedly had, I just love saying Anthony Weiner, who just got out of jail and apparently is now back with his estranged wife, who I don't even think they're really married, Uma Abedin, who is, of course, Clinton's top advisor. I've always said that Uma Abedin is a Manchurian candidate. She's a plant here. She's an Islamic plant. I'm going to get in trouble for this podcast, by the way. She's an Islamic plant she's not pro-America at all, right? And she's married to Anthony Weiner. There's things about certain video files that were on Anthony Weiner's computer that were just absolutely audacious. I mean, the things that were on there. and it was basically revealing a lot of things about a lot of people. And it was basically called, it was the security file. In other words, if ever goes down, I got this on all these people. So there's nothing to say that this same kind of deal didn't exist in terms, and I would say some of the things that they say were on these files, but I'm not going to because we're just not going to go there. It's that crazy, that brutal. But I'll tell you this, they say that some of the people who saw those files came out of that house crying. Like 30-year law enforcement professionals came out with tears because of the things they saw. You do your own research, check that out. But it's not that hard to believe that Epstein, possibly the same kind of thing. This guy could be sipping Mai Tais on the beach somewhere because they have all this information. There's just too much of that. Because last week I was saying, he's dead. And you know what? 90% chance he's dead. But that's a big old 10% that freaks me out. What do you think? Texas legend Steve Helms.
I think he's living in Greenland.
You're a vain person. Steve Party Foul's a vain person. I'm a vain person. If you were a billionaire, even if you were in jail, would you kill yourself?
No.
No.
If I was a billionaire, I would own everybody and I would be out of that place.
That's exactly right.
Well, they said even if he was convicted, spent the rest of his life in prison, he had the money to take care of himself in prison.
Yeah.
He would have been fine. So he's too vain. He had too much going for him, given whatever circumstances, and he hadn't even had a chance to try it.
No.
I mean, OJ had a chance to try it, you know? There's no way, to me, that he wouldn't have given that a shot.
Well, the funny thing is,
get off.
OJ knew good and well he killed 2 people. And he still was willing to hang out and
That's
go
my
through the
point.
process, stay in prison and do it. And he got off.
That's right. That's my
On
point.
technicalities, he got off.
Yeah.
And then, so here's Epstein. Yeah, he could have lived lavishly, even in prison with that
Right.
way. So, yeah, I just don't, the more I thought of it over the weekend, the more I was just kind of analyzing and thinking, like, Epstein's, he had a lot of stuff on a lot of people.
So you think he's live?
I kind of do. I kind of think there was a switch. I had somebody who even said, look at that face, it's Anthony Bourdain. On the gurney there. That's Anthony Bourdain. I was like, okay, we're reaching now. We're really getting out there. Easy, Alex Jones. But no, that was somebody asked me, they said, what do you think Alex Jones thinks about this? I said, he'll probably have Epstein on the show next week.
Right.
He probably knows where he is. So I'll tell you, man, I'm not a conspiracy theorist historically, but I'm telling you, man, this is a wild one. This is a wild one. I think Ruth Bader Ginsburg's dead. Like, I think she's already on ice. What? Nobody's seen her.
Well,
No, I think she's dead. I think they're waiting for the next big cover-up thing that they need to all of a sudden splash a news story and get your eyes diverted, and then they'll be like, "Oh, RBG died. RBG died. She's been dead for a month and a half. Nobody can. No, where is she? Drop in on the court and tell me that old goat is still there, and I will eat my words. I will eat my words and send you a $20 bill.
You're the first person I've ever heard say that.
Yeah.
That's
She's dead.
That's a stretch.
She's dead.
Y'all remember that day that
just
Chad
don't see her
Prather
'cause she's
became a
this big.
conspiracy
No, she's
theorist?
not there.
She's
think
this
it's
big. She
today.
can't even see over the bench. She's like, you see a poof of hair. She's there.
I just don't see it, man. I mean, where is she? It's a party foul. If she's assume let's do the RBG dance. Look, I don't want to be less. People are going to get bad at me and say, I've had so many people who've said, you're not like you used to be. You're meaner now, and you're just not humble anymore. Shut up. If
You're
you
a
had to
comedian.
talk, that's exactly. I'm like, then you
If any of these
literally have
people
not been
knew you,
following me.
If any of these people knew you really, they
Yeah.
would know exactly how freaking mean you are.
Exactly.
You're right.
I call it like I see it. I love it when I call it like I see it, and but when I call it like I see it about you,
Yeah, that hurts.
everybody's like, yeah, Chad's never afraid to speak his mind until I speak my mind about you, and then everybody's like, you ass, you ass. I'm going to pray for you. Well, pray for me. I'm all for it. But no, I know people are going to get mad and be like, you shouldn't talk about this old lady like that. Look, I don't want her to be dead. I mean, I wish we could all live forever, but I just don't think.
It's actually pretty comfortable. I'm going to start sleeping like that on planes.
Yeah. And if she's not, she ain't well. The reason I bring up RBG is because this.
It's a good movie.
So Antonin Scalia died under weird circumstances, okay? And pay attention to the Supreme Court. Pay attention to these justices. Let's just pay attention over the next 5 years. Let's just remember on this date, this Tuesday evening, that in 2019, whatever year we're in, I almost said 1919. In 2019, you just remember that I said it here. Just pay attention to some weird things that I believe are going to happen with the Supreme Court over the next 4 to 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean weird stuff. Weird stuff. Because there's weird stuff going on, man. Like, I've never been one of those that wants to call out Illuminati and the Bilderbergers and all these conspiracies behind. But let me tell you, if you don't think that exists, it exists. There are weird powers out there. There are weird powers. There's pedophiles in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. There's pedophilia, which is a weird thing. It's satanic, right? It's satanic. Like there's blood cults and there's satanic cults and there's Satanists and everybody's like, no, there's not. I'm like, yes, there is. Why else is pedophilia even a thing? That is so unnatural. I mean, that is a weird perversion. But you start to learn how pervasive it is in places of power. Because those people who have had entitled and had everything offered to them their entire lives, that they get so freaky they got to do something else, and it turns to children, that's creepy. That's demonic. That's satanic. That's straight out of the pit of hell. You can't tell me. And that's where it's coming from. These people, they get together and they got these weird little cults that are going on, and they're not little. They're way bigger than anybody knows or believes. Do your own research. I'm not telling you what to believe, but do your own research.
Well, and sadly, the statistics of children who have been molested is so much higher than you think.
Yeah. These people don't live in the same
scary.
world you live in. They don't. Like, look, Katy Perry. Like
Man.
Now, she's gotten, this isn't pedophilia, but, we all this stuff of sexual misconduct that's coming out. Mm-hmm. Why people got to be so freaky?
Well, just that power gets to them.
Why you got to be so freaky? But there's been another person coming forward to accuse Katy Perry of sexual misconduct.
Sexual misconduct.
Yeah, sexual misconduct. And this is a woman. This
Yeah.
is a girl, a Russian television host who said that Katy Perry sexually harassed her and made unwanted sexual overtures during a private party that took place at undisclosed time. A former male music video star aired similar allegations. Why these people got to get their freak on? And I ain't kink shaming.
This guy's pissed off that Katy Perry made an advance at him?
Right.
Are you kidding me?
She exposed his genitals.
Snatched his britches down.
She snatched his britches down.
That's called getting pantsed. You didn't have that happen to you in your freshman
who
year?
else went to middle school?
Come on. You got pants, dude. Katy Perry pantsed you.
I mean, come on.
High five and go on.
Just so y'all know, and I'll say it publicly, we got right over here my shoulder here, I got a perfectly good dressing room.
Oh.
I got a perfectly good dressing room over there across the way in the studio, but I don't want to have walk all there. So we have a lot of clothes hanging up over here, and I'll just stand right over here and have a conversation with Candace, Queen of the Ethiopians, while I'm changing shirts. So Candace, if you come out and say that I'm sexually harassing you by changing my shirt, and I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you.
Noted. I'll remember that from now on.
Yeah, but Candace just started throwing ones all of a sudden.
I know.
That is my
making
general
it rain.
reaction.
But I'm like, this is so dumb. But that's how far it's gone. It is people are going to say, oh, this or that, you made this. Okay. Somebody made an advance at you.
Can I say, though, I have heard way back when I was kind of running around with the music scene, I heard about a lot of female entertainers, well known, having, I would say, a casting couch in the country music industry. Yeah. Now, that's a rumor for me. I mean, nobody, hit on me, but I knew that was kind of a well-known thing for some of,
But you are a beautiful woman. You were a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. you've had people act inappropriately towards you.
I've
and
acted
say-
inappropriately
I know, but
towards
let's talk
I
about.
was gonna say I did this
I know
morning
you
when she got here.
We laugh about that. I mean, you have to endure Party Foul Steve all the time. So, but you've had. I mean, but come on, get a life.
Yeah. You know, there is, when a woman feels uncomfortable, she should be able to draw the line
Yeah.
and say she feels uncomfortable and you should stop. And I know that sometimes people don't stop. I've definitely had my fair share of that. But I've always been able to handle it. It's not,
What's funny to me is these people, because here we're talking about real stuff like pedophilia and just
Yes.
like that's criminal. I mean, that is like, anyway. And then you have this kind of stuff. I mean, you're a generation away from people who used to go to the Playboy Mansion and party, and you know what was going on in places like that. I mean, then you have Dan Bilzerian. You know, Dan Bilzerian's got, good God, however many millions of followers on Instagram. He's built a whole career off of, scantily clad girls and, swimming around. Every time he gets on a private jet, there's a dozen girls with him. So you glorify it all in one breath, and then in the next breath, you're going to say, well, this industry hurt me. I mean, what the hell do you expect to come out of it? When you go into that industry, I don't care if it's whatever entertainment industry you're in, and especially the higher you get in terms of success, there's going to be more and more of it. People are going to throw themselves at you. People are going to, they're going to act inappropriately towards you. And, get over it. I'm so sick of hearing about this sexual harassment because, again, it's just like throwing the word racism around.
Right.
It's been overused so that the real victims of these true crimes aren't heard because some dude got pantsed. He did a weenie flop right there in the middle of the party. I mean, I would just think the party's getting started.
That's called a Tuesday at the Prather house.
Yeah. Party time, Mom.
That's an appetizer.
Stay horned. Oh, my gosh.
Hey, I don't want to go it was just, did you see Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s plane? I know that was last week, but man, that really hit home when you've got your family on a plane like that. And it just, the landing, I guess, was.
It's a bad landing. People were
landing.
calling it a crash. It wasn't really a crash. It was a bad landing, and they drove off the runway. And then it
Went to a field and a barbed wire fence and a highway.
Chad, if that happens to me, I'm calling it a crash.
it is going to be a crisis
plane
event.
crashed.
I survived a plane
Don't
crash.
take that away from them. That is a crash.
Well,
Chad.
we know that the small planes are much more dangerous than the big airliners and stuff like that. I mean, you hear all the way
Scary.
back from, so many people from Wiley Post and Will Rogers to Payne Stewart to, on and on and on and on.
Well, I'm glad they're safe.
I'm glad they're safe.
I know they're
too.
going to do
I don't know what information they had on the Clintons. But I'm glad they're safe.
And over the weekend, Saturday, I think football great Cedric Benson was killed in a motorcycle accident it was a minivan pulled out. So sad. That was a kind of a Texas legend himself from the University of Texas, played pro, and just sad times.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you these things happen. Tragedy comes at you, and you have to deal with it, move on. I mean, pretty soon we'll be hearing about RBG. It won't be long. I'm going to Missouri in 2 weeks. I'm going to be, is it 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Either way, September 11th, I'm going to be in Branson, Missouri, doing a benefit show for the American Valor Foundation. People can get tickets if you want to come at watchchad.com. Going to be in Calgary, but as well on August 28th. And we're going to be in Folsom on the 14th of September, California. Can't wait to get back out there.
At the prison?
But I wanted to bring, not at the prison, but
okay.
yeah. But I tell you what's funny, I bring up the Missouri show, the Branson, Missouri show. And I do encourage everybody to go to AmericanValorFoundation.org and check us out, what we're doing. A lot of fun stuff with the Chris Kyle family. But in Missouri, Festus, Missouri, people are finding these dolls all over the town being left. Some of them are, some of them are headless. Some of them look
like they're crying
children, and these dolls are just being in all these strange places, posed in odd ways. Yeah, people are kind of worried,
And some people have a legit fear of dolls.
Yeah.
Like that's a legit phobia.
Yeah. Hands are sewn to their face. There's no face to it. if you're to see it from behind, it looks like a little girl. People are weird. Steve and I did a show last year in Des Moines, Iowa. I want to say it was Des Moines.
Yeah,
and remember that? It was built on, they had the mansion next to it. It was
Oh yeah.
Sherman's brother, General Sherman's brother. It was his old house. And they had the theater built next to it. Remember that? And they had the doll room.
Yeah.
Like all this antique stuff in there. They had the doll room. And you would go in there, and there was all of these painted dolls just lining the room.
Annabelle.
And they're all looking at you.
Yeah.
Annabelle.
I'd sleep in there for $100.
You'd sleep in there for 10.
I'd sleep in there for free just so I could talk about
Actually,
it.
he's probably been passed out in there.
So yesterday we did a benefit for the American Veterans Outdoors.
Veterans Outdoors.
Veterans Outdoors.
Nash Bash.
Yeah. So we did that benefit. That was Sunday we did it. And I bought I was doing the auction, but I bid on this one. I bought that portrait. They'll paint you, and the painting looks like a photo. I'm going to go do it, and I can't wait till y'all see what it's going to look like.
I'm going to hang that up above my bed.
It's going to be the funniest.
My Prather right there.
It's going to be the
really
funniest
kind of
thing.
funny because you left that thing before I did.
Yeah.
And they came to me to collect
That's funny.
the money that you.
That is funny.
That I was
They
like,
went to you.
wrong person.
Yeah. You can like getting blood from a turnip right
so
there.
So is it going to be like your face and then like a horse's body, kind of like?
Oh, yeah.
No,
Was it
just wait.
Centaurian or what was it?
Just wait and see. I'll call Judith and get the money over to him because we did get out of there. My wife was in a mood.
I want to talk to you about something.
What?
So football is starting back up. We're already in preseason for the NFL. I know NFL, you're more excited about college.
Yeah.
I'm excited about NFL. Jay-Z's entertainment company has partnered with Roger Goodell in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Colin Kaepernick's all in an uproar about it. But do you think that Colin has also unfriended all of his NFL friends who are still getting a paycheck from the NFL, despite, the social injustice?
Do you think Colin Kaepernick has any friends? I mean, that's the bigger question.
I don't think Colin Kaepernick is relevant at this point. Right now.
He's made, hey, look, if I thought I could make $40 million protesting something, I'd find a cause. I'd grow my hair out, you know.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, I'd find a cause.
Right.
That whole deal's ludicrous. I mean, come on. I mean, Jay-Z used to sell crack, for crying out loud. We're not talking about a fine, upstanding individual in terms of his history. So, good God, protest Jay-Z. I don't care.
Well, last year Jay-Z protested the NFL.
Yeah. So
and now he's,
now he's getting cahoots because it's money, 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 money.
Yeah, and I don't blame him.
And no, who does? I mean, go out there and do it. I mean, Colin Kaepernick, his whatever payoff deal from the NFL was
Nike.
Yeah. But I mean, what the NFL paid him. He ain't giving that money back.
No,
I'm giving that money back. I mean, that's as ludicrous as Roseanne Arquette last week saying that, that's a good look on me right there.
Look at you, like a rooster.
Mm-hmm.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
I'm just looking for my faceless doll. Leave
it.
Roseanne Arquette talking about how she's ashamed of being white and privileged and blah, 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 and she just hates the fact that she's born white. I'm like, give your money away then. Give all your money to indigenous people, disenfranchised people, and minorities. Just give it all away.
And move to Greenland.
Yes. The top of it.
Let it all go.
Up to the top of it.
I think we should do the next Fire Fest in Greenland.
That's an idea.
We're going to pray about it.
It's an idea.
Yeah.
I mean, that kid that put that on Billy, whatever his name was, like he's in jail. He ain't killing himself.
Mm-mm.
You know why? Because he made a...
He can't kill himself. That's ludicrous. Come on, that's funny. That's funny.
All right, I'm hungry. I hope everybody's having a great Tuesday evening. Remember, Monday through Thursday, you can get the podcast, audio podcast at 3 p.m. Texas time. That's Central for you geographically challenged folks. And then we're going to also continue airing the podcast via YouTube. It's going to be on Facebook. Get it where podcasts are offered, okay? Follow me on Instagram at WatchChad, and make sure you're checking in with my 24-hour stories. And Natalie Woods 22.
Yep.
Natalie Woods 22 on Twitter. Well, Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm never tweet.
Oh, well.
I need you
We
to
heard
tweet
you
for
tweet
me.
just a little while ago.
I go through
I tweeted
phases.
a little.
I tweet 4 days a week. That's about what I can handle. Right?
Will you
Can
you just add me to all your tweets?
No.
Okay,
It
all
doesn't
right.
work like that.
Okay.
This doesn't work like that. The go to watchchad.com though. We got some merch on sale. I mean, on sale. Like we're getting rid of some inventory, so you can get some good T-shirts, good deals on T-shirts.
You sold out of the whiskey glasses too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're gonna put some. We're probably gonna come back with, because like I was saying earlier, you go to Blaze, theblaze.com, and check out their merch store. We're probably gonna add some more of the glasses there for the Chad Prather Show, and you just kind of centralize all Chad Prather Show merchandise. You can go get the Party Time Mom shirt that's out there. Got my lovely face right there. It's a funny shirt. But anyway, check it out. We got stuff. Then we're gonna have to do the Pretty Good shirt.
It'll be pretty good.
We just say pretty good, and then underneath say Puppet Master Mark.
Stay horned.
Stay horned. So come out, find us on the road, man. Going on the show, we got Star Spangled Banter Comedy Tour. We got those dates coming, and then we're about to launch that MAGA Country Comedy Tour. You can go to magacomedy.com, or you can get those dates on watchchad.com as well. Come on, tell your friends. I'll red pill you and make you laugh. Yeah. Natalie! What's your favorite duo? My love, there's only you in my life.
I always want to sing in karaoke, It's Your Love. You know, Tim McGraw and Faith Hill.
It's your love.
That's the one.
Just does something to me. Yeah. Sends a shot right through me. Can't get enough. Are you gonna actually do duet with this?
I don't know. You're pretty high.
Words.
I do know them, but you were like soprano.
If you wonder about the spell I'm under.
Oh, you're so pretty. Get your guitar. Next time we're gonna do that duet.
Love.
Gosh. Never been hotter.
Oh my gosh. Party time, Mom.
Stay horned.
Stay horned. I love y'all. God bless. We'll talk to you next time.